Hello there, this is DBT and these are the rooms. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt 8. And today, I'm gonna be doing a multiplayer pro test of the car that you see on the screen right now, which is the NanoFlowcell Quantino. And of course this is because this car is currently featured in the Racing Pass as a free car. And you might be wondering, DBT, is this even a good car? Well, let's try to find out. But before I jump into it, if you enjoy my content, you know what to do. Hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel, because doing these things tell YouTube that this is worth recommending to more people, and in that way, I can continue making this content for you. So if you want to continue seeing Asphalt 8 right here, go ahead, like and subscribe. But alright, let's talk about this car because, well, what is it about? Now, when I did the video reviewing the Racing Pass, I'll put the link in the top right if you want to watch that, I did say that I don't have any experience with this car. I do own it, but never really tried it. So today I decided to upgrade it to the Pro rank, and well, yeah, we shall test it, but I should probably activate boosters. And here you have it with the tuning kit so that you can see all of the stats of the car. As I always say, there's not a lot to learn from these stats by themselves, only that the top speed plus nitro should be the average for this class, but other than that, yeah. The real test is, or rather, to figure out the performance, we should really play with it. Now, as I mentioned, I don't really have experience with this car. In fact, I barely had seen it. Now, of course, I've seen people driving it in the game, but you know, in the default color, so it never caught my eye in any way, shape, or form. But now for this video, I started looking at it, you know, the 3D model, looking at it, and I'm like, you know what? It actually is kind of a funky little cool car. No, it's not the type of car that I like when it comes to the general styling or anything, but you know, for being a Class D car, what's supposed to be, I suppose, a bit more of a common everyday car, though I don't know if it's what's the deal with this brand at all, never heard of it, before this game, I should say. Yeah, I don't know, I think it looks alright. Now, obviously, it's an electric car, so there's not really a lot of engine. You don't hear anything, but hey, whatever. No, but overall I do think it looks kind of cool. In fact, I will change the color of this car after a couple of races because I did like a couple of the colors for this. You know that normally I do half of the video with one color, then I change the color to black if it's available for the test of the drift and all of that, and then I switch back to yet another color. I might do a couple more colors in this video simply because, you know, it looks kind of dope, and since I have seen this car so many times in this color, having a look at it in the other ones, I'm like, oh, that looks quite alright. And alright, it would seem that my very first race with this car is gonna be a successful one. Now, how successful? Well, I would call it a first place. Yeah, it was, to be fair, it was a very uneventful race, so I don't know that I can learn much from the car just yet. But let's see, let me guess, a bunch of unboosted people. Yep, there it is. Jesus Christ, the spam of Mazda Fury. Holy. Alright, you know what? It's fine. It may have been on a live stream where someone told me like, oh yeah, now there's a spam of Mazda Furies, and I'm like, nah, why would you say that? Normally the one that used to be spammed a lot was the Corvette C3. Like, no, there's spam for real. I'm like, why? Oh, because apparently the car is featured in the ad relays. I'm like, okay, well then some people are getting their Furies, that's right. But no, now that I see it with my own eyes, holy smokes, there is a spam of Mazda Furies. That's a little bit sad because I really like the Mazda Fury when it comes to looks. So now if it's gonna be a spam car, I'm gonna feel guilty using it because you know that I don't like using spam cars. So that is unfortunate. That is not something that I wanted to see, but whatever. At the end of the day, it's fine for people to be able to get, and obviously I'm just saying it, oh, I didn't knock him down, all right? I think that was him crashing because I didn't even get a notification of the knockdown. But while I'm complaining about like, oh man, it's spam and whatnot, but I can see how this is actually good for players, because again, being able to get a competitive car, even if it's one with very little nitro, a competitive car for a particular bracket that it's already quote-unquote upgraded, because you know, it's an ultimate car, you don't need to upgrade it, that is pretty good, because then suddenly a lot more people are going to be able to jump into this bracket and just play with that car. So that is kind of dope. In that sense for the newer players, but for players like myself who don't like playing with spam cars, it's like, ah, man. But okay, whatever, it is what it is. But anyway, that is how in a video about the NanoFlowcell Quantino, I ended up talking about the Mazda Fury. It's fine. What can I tell you about the car? So far, it seems pretty comfortable. It seems a little bit heavy on the steering, you know. It's not like the most agile car out there, but at least when it comes to Nitro, I'm definitely not struggling with it. So, hey, there's something to be said about that. And I got another... And, okay, this time at least there were a couple cars boosted, so there's that. Yeah, Mazda Furai, there's another Furai. Now, granted, the previous race was massive spam of Furais, but hey. And if one thing is true in this video is that at least we're getting very full lobbies. And yeah, I mean, it's not surprising. Usually Class D, in general, Class D tend to be relatively full lobbies precisely because, well, there's going to be obviously a lot of players that are newish to the game and they don't have things to participate in higher classes and whatnot. So normally you do find this to be indeed very populated. But yeah, I'm surprised at how quickly these lobbies are filling up and whatnot. So hey, there is that. It seems that this time we do have some additional competition over here with this guy in front of me. So let's see how we do. But yeah, so far the car seems all right, you know. Again, I don't have a ton of experience in this bracket, which is kind of silly. At some point, I suppose I did. But you know, it's been a long... Oh God! Ah, what the f was that? Oh, here's DBT being like, oh, I have experience and this and that, and proceed to crash. But no, actually where I was going is that I kind of have lost my experience in these brackets because I don't play them too often. Obviously, I still play them for videos like this or in the multiplayer sessions and whatnot. But let's say that in a competitive sense, I really haven't been playing these brackets for a long time. Because again, they're brackets where there's going to be a lot of players who don't have boosters, who have barely upgraded their cars, who don't have necessarily a ton of experience in the game. So you end up finding lobbies that are relatively easy. And once again, I say this as I'm gonna end up in third place at best. But hey, I think you know what I mean, right? So I don't really know the meta and competitiveness in these brackets. Again, I suppose that if I really wanted to test it out, I should have done this in the very, very first day of the multiplayer, when the multiplayer series began. And then I would find the people who are try-harding and then compete like that. But the reality is that I don't have time to do that on the first day or two. I'm generally busy those couple of days on the week, so yes. But all right, so yeah, I did lose to an Infiniti FX50 and the C3, but I did beat another bunch of Furais. Holy smoke, that's crazy. All right, this time I'm gonna focus and see if I can compete, because I think the same guys that beat me in the previous race are in this race, so let me see if I can be a tiny bit more competitive over here. Yes, let's go for that. Okay, here we go. Oh, do I see an MP4? No, what is it called? MP... whatever. The F1 car. Old F1 car. Oh, people pushing each other. People pushing each other. People pushing... What the f was that delayed knockdown? Oh, man. Not only it's annoying that they knock me down, it's annoying that they hit me and I'm like, oh, I survived, and then I explode. Yep. Oh, dude, stop pushing me. Oh, man. All right. Remember that part when I said that I was going to go more competitive? Yeah, that ain't working today. Jesus. Well, multiplayer, I tell you. Oh, sorry, buddy. You were in front of me and probably without nitro, so that's more your fault than mine. But yeah, you know, I say it every single time. The multiplayer is so incredibly random that, hey, the results are always going to be mixed. It's fine. That is kind of the fun, I think, of multiplayer, where... you can always blame everybody else for your bad results. You're like, no, it wasn't my skill issue, it was someone else that pushed me. But yeah, no, like legit, for real. That is what I think adds a little bit of the fun in multiplayer. The fact that it's random, semi-random. Yeah, you're like, well, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's not as, oh yeah, I have this car that is objectively so much more powerful than every other car, and I'm gonna win every single race. Now there's always some chaos in the mix over here. All right, so I got defeated by a bunch of things. I mean, I did come back to 5th place, so that's something, but Sparrow drift test! And yes, of course, I painted the car black because that's what I do in these tests. It's fine, don't worry too much about it. Let's see how it does, and here we go. All right, yeah, I need to release that button a little bit to not hit the inside, but you'll have to tell me if this is good or bad for Class D. What I mean by that is that, you know, the drift seems fine. It seems definitely usable, but I don't know, is this like the average for this class? And then again, since the cars are not going necessarily fast, that might also affect a little bit the drifting, making it, you know, feel better than it is. I don't know. But yeah, no, at the very least, it's usable. It's not bad. I don't think it will let you down, but I don't believe it's anything absolutely amazing either. Oh, and this is beautiful. Since it's a Class D test on the time to wall, I got matched against a much lower Class D car. Did I say Class S? Class D car. And yeah, look at that. Perfect start. Oh, that's as clean as that's ever gonna get. But as per usual, I'm gonna do it also in Driftgate, because I think I've said it every single time I mention it, right? There's no opponent, so this is always gonna be clean no matter which card you're driving, so that's kind of useful too. So yes, just showing this result as well. Now, before moving on with more races, just real quick, I want to show you the color options of the car. Again, we know the default one, which is actually kind of cool, dual tonish blue with orange accent. So I think it's a cool looking one. The wheels look pretty dope as well. I like this theme of like, I don't know, concentric thingies, whatever. You also saw it on green. You also saw it on black, which is actually kind of nice because it does get to keep the orange accents, even though the rest of the colors are kind of boring, but whatever. Or the rest of the car is boring. We got it also on red, on silver. We got it on white. And I skipped these other two colors because just look at them. Look at that. Oh, man. And look at this. Look at this. Oh, man. Yeah, I think it looks kind of dope. So let's drive it like that. Oh, man. And I don't know where we went from having lobbies of 11 players to one with only 5. But you know what? It's fine. I just saw a Countach. Nice. All right. Wait, was that the other NanoFlow that I just saw over there? The one in, I think it's Class B? Just probably, well, to be in this bracket, it's gotta be at stock or something. But hey, I out-accelerated everybody, so... So long as I don't mess it up, I might just run away with this one. But yeah, I mean, what can I tell you about the car? I don't know, it seems fine. And then again, it's a free car, right? That is why I wanted to cover this car, because it's a free one. And I keep on seeing people being like, oh my god, Game Love, they're so greedy. And, you know, there's a big argument to make about that, and fair enough. Because, yeah, I mean, it is a game that is trying to sell you things. Of course, they want you to spend money on the game. But there are free cars. Now, granted, it's only Class D, but it is free. There's a bunch of other free cars that you can also get in the relays, ranging from Class D all the way to Class A as well. So... I don't know, I think it's, there's definitely a lot to be said about, hey, there's still some avenues for you to get some free cars, even if they may not be the best cars out there or whatnot. That is the point that I try to make in all of these videos when I do the pro test, that whether or not it's a good or bad car, you can probably still get decent results with it if you drive it well. You can probably still do pretty bad if you drive it poorly, which is like what I tend to do often, but hey, whatever. So yeah, I don't know, even if it's not necessarily the best car out there, I think it's still fine to get some of these cars because, hey, free car is free. In fact, you know what? Let's make that the key phrase for today. Free car is free. First person to post gets the pin, the heart, you know, all of that stuff, right? And just last week in the Saturday's Friday multiplayer session, I got into a little bit of a rant precisely talking about this whole thing on some people thinking, well, you know, again, it's very difficult to say this without sounding like, oh, DBT is just white knighting for the company, which I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to paint a different picture as to how people say that, yeah, this game is impossible, it's so pay to win, you cannot do anything. It's like, okay, but there's actually a bunch of cars that you can get for free in the game with the ads and whatnot. And once again, as I've said a bunch of times, mobile free-to-play pay-to-win racing game, just in general, mobile games like this, they tend to be like this. Either you pay with money or you pay with time. So in this case, with the ads and all that, you're paying with time, not money. But still, there's a bunch of free cars that you can get over there, free cars here, free cars there. And at the end of the day, because there was this whole argument about like, no, but they're so greedy because every new car that they add, it's a $150 car in the Treasure Rush and all that. It's like, well, yeah, but just stop worrying about those. That's what I do. I don't worry about the $150 cars in the game anymore. I worry about the cars that I can get in whichever way I can get, hopefully without spending money, and that is that. Now, granted, I'm in a different position because, you know, I have this crazy garage and all of that stuff, but still, there's a lot of progress that you can make in this game, and as I keep on mentioning, you don't need the best cars. And if you're just, oh my god, but I really want this Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute because, oh my god, it's the best, well then, unfortunately, you're just falling for the FOMO thing of like, no, you want this thing because it's the best, and you have this fear of missing out. So yeah, people, don't fall for it. Just, you know, enjoy the game. Don't focus too much on, oh, I need the absolute best car in the game, because at the end of the day, pretty much all of the cars are competitive anyway. And I didn't even notice that in that previous race, I just ranked up. So woohoo! From, you know, not rank at all to ranking up with the car. Pretty nice, pretty nice. But yeah, like I was saying, I think that is, and I try to mention this from time to time, just hopefully to help some people that are struggling with the game and being frustrated by it. It's, just don't focus too much on those super new fancy cars. Just get everything else that you can around them. And yeah, who knows, maybe one day that one thing that they added in 2025, maybe next year is gonna be available in a much easier way to get that, rather than paying $150 on a treasure rush or anything like that, right? So that's basically how I focus on the game. And even though obviously I do spend money in the game from time to time, specifically on the car hunts, even then, I'm like, for example, just to give you a very, very perfect example of the whole thing about patience. Let's say that you're a massive Lamborghini fan, like maybe DBT is, I mean, nobody can confirm or deny, and you really wanted to get that Lamborghini Huracan STO that was added as a treasure rush. So I would be like, oh my god, it's so pay to win, it's $150, oh my god, all of that stuff, right? Fair enough, yeah, $150, it's a very high price. But at the same time, if you're DBT like the DBT that I am, you waited for it to show up for much cheaper in a couple of months or whatever, and instead of $150, it was on sale for $20, and that's when this DBT got it. But let's say that you're an even more patient DBT. Well, guess what? That car was added, I believe, last year, and now this year, you saw that you can already get it for tokens. There was a sale for it for tokens, so you could have spent $0 on it. So if you really wanted that car because, oh my god, I want it so much, well, there you go. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen with every single car, especially with the Class S or Ultimates or anything like that, right? But the point that I'm trying to make is that it's just a matter of being patient with the game. If you're the type of player who gets frustrated by not having the newest, shiniest thing, unfortunately, you are the type of person who GameLoft is hoping to push into spending money. But all you gotta do is be patient with the game and be like, I'll get whatever I can get whenever I can get it. I'll save some resources, as DBT usually tells you that you never should go broke in the game. And yeah, I'll take whatever shows up later on. But anyway, I know I went very off topic with this one while driving the NanoFlowcell Quantino. Like I said, it's a pretty workable car, it's usable, get it, it's free on the Racing Pass, so why not? But yeah, at the very least, you should be able to compete with it. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, once again, you know what to do, like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff, and I'll see you next one. Bye-bye!